This is Valley News Live on KVLY.
Now on the Valley today, a former U.S. Olympic gold medal hockey player was found incompetent to stand trial on assault charges. The reason why is just ahead.
But first, the details on the escaped inmate who is still on the run, and police say they consider him dangerous.
And today, another chilly one this morning. More temperatures in the teens. We'll have your forecast coming up.
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is the Valley Today.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for waking up with us on this Tuesday morning. It's now 5 o'clock. I'm Jordan Schreier here with Lisa Bedeau. This guy up on your screen right now is still on the loose, and police consider him a danger to the public.
The Wadena County Sheriff's Office tells us early this morning that they're still searching for Ryan Petro, who escaped while being transported to court yesterday morning. He was handcuffed and dressed in an orange shirt and tan pants.
Deputies are using canine teams, a helicopter, and a drone to look for him. Petro was in jail for burglary, disorderly conduct, damage to property, and obstructing the legal process.
A player on the 1980 Miracle on Ice U.S. Olympic gold medal hockey team has been found incompetent to stand trial on charges he beat a neighbor with a metal pole.
A Minnesota judge ruled yesterday that 61-year-old Mark Pavlik of Lutsen does not understand the court proceedings. Authorities allege that he attacked his friend after the two returned from fishing in August.
Pavlik had 2 assists in the United States Miracle 4-3 win over the Soviet Union in a medal round game of the 1980 Olympic tournament. The U.S. then beat Finland to win the gold medal.
The U.S. Department of Justice says Sanford Health has agreed to pay more than $20 million to resolve kickback allegations. This settlement resolves allegations that the Sioux Falls-based health system knowingly submitted false claims to federal health care programs resulting from medically unnecessary spinal surgeries.
Sanford denies any liability or wrongdoing, but says it's settled because the $20.25 million amount is far less than the unnecessary costs and operational disruption that would have persisted for multiple years. The allegations came in a whistleblower lawsuit filed by 2 Sanford doctors.
It is now 3 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's check our forecast, and it's another cool one, but I think that's kind of just what we have this time of the year.
That's right. It seems like that's just the case now, as they're running a good 10 degrees below average here in the valley, and today will be no exception. We've got temperatures this morning starting off in the teens in spots. It's 18 degrees in Devil's Lake, 19 in Fosston, 24 in Fargo, and 23 in Grand Forks. Your winds, well, they're stronger over to the north and west. We're at 26 degrees, or 26 miles per hour rather, in Devil's Lake, and 20 in Langdon. We're looking at winds that are a lot lighter to the south and east, but still even a 5-mile-per-hour wind has an impact when temperatures are this cool. And we are feeling dangerously close to 0 in Devil's Lake right now. We've got a wind chill at the moment at 2 degrees. It's 6 in Langdon. It feels like 7 in Jamestown, and 9 your wind chill in Hallock. Fargo, our wind chill 17 right now. So a good day once again. If you haven't dug out that winter coat, that heavier coat, today might be your day to do that. Checking out your radar and satellite map, you can see that there are some clouds working their way through. Overall, though, we're looking at a day today where we're going to be enjoying a mix of some sun and clouds. Sometimes where we're getting lots of sun, especially in the south, and then others where we're dealing with more clouds, and that's more likely up north. You can see temperatures there will be cooler this afternoon too. Some of us may not even, a lot of us actually, may not even reach the freezing mark here today. So staying on the chilly side, and can't rule out the possibility for a few flakes, a few flurries flying around up in the northern valley today. So we'll have more details on that coming up in just a little bit. We'll take a look at that trick-or-treat forecast too as well.
Thank you, Lisa.
The state has temporarily shut down production at a Minnesota company amid concerns about lead poisoning among plant workers' children. The Department of Labor and Industry says Water Gremlin hasn't done enough to limit workers' exposure to lead dust at its White Bear Township facility. At least 12 children of employees have been found with elevated blood levels of lead, including 2 with levels above the threshold considered to be a serious health risk. Water Gremlin says it's working to immediately implement protective actions.
A North Dakota woman is facing arson charges after police say she was trying to get revenge, but ended up starting the wrong house on fire. They say Cassandra Cote of Williston thought she was setting fire to the home of someone who had stolen items from a storage unit. She's accused of placing a 2-liter bottle of gas outside the home in Williston last month and then igniting it, which damaged the skirting and plastic trim. Police say the couple who lives there doesn't know Cote and their child were not. Luckily, no one in the home was hurt.
Minnesota's legislative auditor is preparing to release a special review today of big overpayments made by the State Department of Human Services to 2 tribes for opioid treatment programs. The department overpaid the White Earth and Leech Lake bands of Ojibwe an estimated $29 million since 2014. The bands say they followed the department's billing instructions.
A man is accused of driving under the influence after several cars were damaged at a downtown Fargo dealership. The Sunday crash was caught on security camera. You see the car hitting one vehicle and causing a chain reaction with 4 others. It happened around 2:30 Sunday morning in the 1800 block of Main Avenue. The owner of MA Auto Sales says the crash is going to cost him thousands and hopes the suspect will have to pay for the damage.
This one, almost I just finished it, 2 weeks maybe, less than 2 weeks, that one. That one, 1 week. This one, 3 days.
30-year-old Moses Yellertai was arrested for DUI and driving without a valid driver's license or insurance.
West Fargo firefighters are partnering with the American Red Cross for free smoke alarm installation in the Meadow Ridge neighborhood. Anyone who lives in a single-family home between Main and 7th Avenues East from 17th to 45th Street can make a request to get their current smoke alarms checked and new ones installed. The work will be done November 3rd through the 16th. You can get details on that by just going to valleynewslive.com and clicking on this story.
Don't put those gardening tools in the shed just yet.
We're learning how we can still get creative with our landscaping in the cool weather with the Valley Today's Abby Furchner. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning, Lisa and Jordan. I'm here with Allison Burcham with SNS Landscaping. And I know this is the time of year when people are like, oh my gosh, what do I do with my outdoor plants? And a lot of times people start trimming those perennials, but that's not always the case. You don't always have to do that.
No, not necessarily. Even though the winter is coming and it is starting to be time to clean up in the landscape, there are actually a lot of varieties of perennials that look beautiful all winter. So with your perennial grasses and some other varieties that have leaves that hold up really well and turn beautiful colors, you can actually leave those up all winter long.
And I think it just gives us a little bit of green to look at when we look out our windows also when we don't trim those back necessarily.
Absolutely. Actually, there are quite a few plants that'll turn kind of a silvery color and they'll contrast the snow and go shush in the wind. So you really do get a really nice look even in our very long cold winter.
But let's say that I do want to trim up those perennials. How should we do that?
Sure. So with your varieties that are going to get a little more tattered looking and you want to clean those up in the yard, all you have to do is take them just like this in the ground and ponytail it up. And
ponytail it up. I love that term.
Take a nice sharp pair of bypass pruners and you want to trim down all of your foliage back to the base about 1 inch above the ground. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure that you get off most of that dead foliage that can suppress growth next year.
And so this will continue to grow back. This isn't one that is just donezo after you cut it.
Yes, absolutely. So all perennials are going to go to sleep back down to the ground into their root system and hibernate for the season. And then in the spring, it's actually important to chop everything back so that you don't repress that new growth that's going to come out next season in the roots.
And we still have so much to talk about. I know too that when it comes to trees and foliage too, you're going to want to protect those, but there are some ways that you can kind of make them look a little nicer throughout that winter season with some burlap and some decorations. So we'll show you those here in just a few minutes.
Abby Furchner reporting live for us. Thank you. The weather this season is creating difficulties for farmers around the valley, to say the least, and that's what Minnesota's governor wants to talk about in the valley today. We have the details coming up on the roundtable discussion planned for today.
Plus, what can farmers expect for the next week? And the rest of us, Lisa Green will be in after this break with a check of your forecast.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know. Valley News Live.